Now the end is near.
Where's Jesus, Elvis? Find Jesus. He can do it. Where's Jesus, Elvis?
The endless coincidences.
As people ask is, what would he be doing now, or what would his life be? And I think, Elvis would always be a part of music, no matter what. I mean, it was in his blood. I think that maybe he'd be going into gospel, preaching a little bit. He loved to have, he loved to teach and,
And Elvis wanted her to have everything.
because he didn't really know. He too grew up very, very poor.
Yeah, Paul.
And it's exactly what he said the other day.
I remember when I was a little kid, we was downtown with my family, and we was poor, and we lived in government projects. I was about 9, 10 years old. I went down to the men's room, walking along there, looking down there on the floor, and there was a $20 bill down on the floor. So I reached down there. I didn't go to the needless to say, I didn't go to the men's room. I ran right back upstairs. I said, Mama, look right. She said, hide that thing under.
There's substantial evidence suggesting that Elvis Presley staged his own death to escape the clutches of the mafia. It's not just a rumor anymore. It's backed by compelling incidents. Witnesses saw a black helicopter hovering near his home Graceland shortly before his reported death on the toilet. Dr. Donald Hinton disclosed that he treated Elvis for 5 years after his supposed passing.
Is Elvis Presley alive?
Absolutely, I would testify it in a court of law.
Graceland allowed public viewing of Elvis's body before the funeral, and attendees noted his remarkably youthful appearance, and many said he looked identical to a wax figure. There's endless coincidences that suggest Elvis may have faked his death. But if that's the case, where is Elvis now? And the real question, who is Elvis Presley now?
Forget about Elvis, I want to see Jesus. Forget about all these other people, I want to see Jesus. Why are you doing what you're doing? And I'll say, look at Jesus. I used to do it with my legs a lot, but now I'm up my arms and shoulders.
A little bit after that, yeah.
Do you ever feel communication with your father? Do you ever feel a channeling? Some people claim that they feel their father or their mother departed around them.
I don't know. If I don't want to answer.
I gave him my house, I gave him my car, I gave him my family, I gave him my money, I gave him my land, I gave him my cattle, I gave him my dog, my cat, I gave everything I got. That was the most important thing in his life, was that money. Jesus walked up to him, looked in his eyeballs. He said, follow me. All the people standing around, the line them up, and lines and lines of people, but wait, he left his life behind. No matter how much people think they have nothing. Whatever you think you have is nothing.
Bob Joyce allegedly attended the funeral of Lisa Marie Presley, the daughter of the legendary Elvis Presley. Upon her passing, reports circulated claiming his presence at the somber event, adding a mysterious aura to the already solemn occasion. However, the exact nature of his connection to the Presley family, or the circumstances surrounding his attendance, remains shrouded in speculation and intrigue. Many have remarked on the uncanny likeness between the faces of Elvis Presley and Bob Joyce. From their jawlines to their eyes, the resemblance is undeniable. Some have even joked that they could be long-lost relatives. It's truly remarkable how much they look alike. There was this one time when he accidentally called himself Elvis, but he quickly corrected himself, almost like he stumbled over his words. It was a funny moment, and he just laughed it off. But it made everyone around him wonder if there was more to the connection between him and the king of rock and roll. They both share a strong devotion to their faith. Elvis Presley and Bob Joyce are known for their deep religious beliefs, which have been a significant part of their lives. Their spirituality is something they hold dear and often talk about with reverence. Bob has the same gap between his teeth that Elvis had before he got a tooth cap when he was younger. It's like a little feature that connects them even more. People notice it and sometimes comment on how it reminds them of Elvis's iconic smile. When Bob sings, it's like listening to Elvis Presley himself. Their voices sound so alike that it's almost eerie. Bob has this incredible ability to capture the essence of Elvis's voice, making his performances truly unforgettable. It's like experiencing a blast from the past whenever he takes the stage. There have been whispers about Bob Joyce being spotted with one of Elvis Presley's earliest girlfriends. It's connecting Bob to Elvis's romantic history. People wonder about the stories they might share and the memories they hold dear from those legendary days. It's a fascinating link between two iconic figures. Makes you wonder, why is Bob hanging out with Elvis's early girlfriend? There isn't a single photo of Bob Joyce until many years after Elvis passed away. It's like he emerged from the shadows, adding to the mystery surrounding him. People speculate about his life before he became known, wondering what he was doing during those unseen years. It's as if he appeared out of nowhere, sparking curiosity and intrigue among fans of both him and Elvis. Bob Joyce was spotted at Elvis Presley's iconic home, Graceland, on Christmas night. It was a moment filled with nostalgia and wonder, as if the spirit of Elvis lingered in the air. People couldn't help but wonder about the connection between Bob and the legendary singer, especially on such a significant occasion. It added another layer to the enigma surrounding Bob Joyce and his ties to the king of rock and roll. Despite speculation and rumors, Bob Joyce has denied any connection to Elvis Presley in a rather peculiar manner. When asked about it, he simply responded, "I'm Bob Joyce, and I always will be." It's an intriguing response that neither confirms nor denies the speculation, leaving people even more curious about the truth behind his relationship with the king of rock and roll. It's as if there's a secret hiding behind those words, waiting to be uncovered. See for yourself in the video where Bob Joyce would respond to allegations, but never once was Elvis Presley mentioned.
Certain issues come up lately, and I want to settle it. I, Bob Joyce, am not, nor ever have been, any other person but me. I am not trying to lead people to believe, or make them believe that I'm somebody that I'm not, to make people believe that I'm somebody that I'm not. I am no other person. I could name some names here, but you know, I'm supposed to be at least one of three different people. I got to be one of them. I can't be myself. I've got to be one of those guys. In other words, he was not going to give satisfaction to some jerk out there that was trying to point the finger and say, this is all about money and you're just all about trying to scam people and make money for yourself. Paul said, I'm not going to have that. I want you to know that this is not for money, but it's for the sake of Jesus Christ. I live in a little poor house. I'm a poor man. I drive a 12-year-old truck, and my wife drives an 11-year-old car. So, you know, we're not trying to make money. We're trying to preach the gospel and be a blessing to others. And if people come here for any other reason then you're coming for the wrong reason. We're not here to support a man. We're here to support Jesus Christ. I want to make that very clear. I am not anybody else but who I am. And now the case is closed. It's over with, it's done, it's finished, it's through. It's done, it's over with. I don't want to hear no more about it from anybody. Amen? Amen. Is that all right with everybody? Amen. Okay, God bless you. Amen.
At the end of the day, whether Bob Joyce is Elvis Presley or not, let's all respect his privacy and respect his message. But if any of us actually want to believe Elvis is alive, we should take a look at his final 24 hours. Elvis Presley's final 24 hours were terrifying. There's many reasons that made these 24 hours so haunting, but one of the biggest was Elvis's scary phone calls.
I might not make it tonight. Don't try stop anything that happens, you son of a bitch. And if you tell Priscilla anything, I'll get you myself.
We'll touch more on those phone calls later, and they get even worse towards the end of his day. But for now, we will begin Elvis's final 24 hours. The Memphis Mafia, the King's family, and Ginger Alden, his fiancée, were all present at Graceland with the King most days. He played the piano, engaged in a game of racquetball, and was preparing to jet back out on tour. Tragically, he spent his final 4 hours on Earth completely alone. Today, this video will reveal Elvis's final hours leading up to his sad ending. On August 16th, 1977, while Ginger slept in the next room over, Elvis passed away in the bathroom. He didn't die alone in the middle of the night. He passed around 1:30 p.m. The King was renowned for being nocturnal, staying up late performing music and sleeping most of the day. Therefore, Graceland was always staffed to support his way of life. Members of the Memphis Mafia and family would also show up at the house at any time. The star's father, Vernon Presley, his new wife, Dee Stanley, and eldest stepbrothers shared a home next door. Our in-depth analysis of Elvis's final 24 hours reveals a regular day in his life that had an unanticipated tragic ending. At 4 p.m. on August 15th, 1977, Elvis awoke at his Graceland residence. He spent the day with Ginger and his daughter Lisa Marie. Although she frequently remained the night, his fiancée had declined his invitation to move in with them. "He had asked me to move into Graceland, but I never did," Ginger later recalled. He said, "I respect you for that. I just didn't at the time. It wasn't my way." At 10:30 p.m. on August 15, 1977, Elvis and Ginger visited his dentist, Lester Hoffman, to discuss ongoing tooth trouble. Elvis's personal dentist, physician, and nurse practitioner were always on call, regularly dispensing painkillers, sleeping aids, and other pharmaceutical medication. At 2:30 a.m. on August 16, 1977, Elvis and Ginger returned home to Graceland. The celebrity waved to fans as he drove back through the gates, and one of them took the final photo ever taken of him. Elvis wore a bright blue shirt underneath a black jacket, and despite it being nighttime, he sported a pair of big black sunglasses. At 2:15 a.m. on August 16, 1977, the King requested painkillers by calling Dr. Nishipoulos, his personal doctor. After receiving a prescription for 6 Dilaudid tablets, he asked his stepbrother Ricky Stanley to pick them up from Baptist Memorial Hospital's 24-hour pharmacy. Ricky came back, and Elvis took the painkillers. Around 4 a.m. on Tuesday, August 16, 1977, Elvis called his cousin Billy and wife Jo and invited them to visit his house to play racquetball on the court. Even though it was late, this was not unusual. Everyone around Elvis was either being paid by him or benefiting from his generosity. Unfortunately, rain started pouring, and Elvis's cousins did not want to play out in the rain, so Elvis told them, "No worries, I'll take care of it," as he would raise his hands up in the sky and say, "Rain be gone." The rain would stop instantly as all of them stood there in shock. After a brief game, around 4:30 a.m., they moved to a piano behind the court, where Elvis played 2 gospel songs before beginning the ballad, "Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain." At 5 a.m. on Tuesday, August 16, 1977, Ginger and Elvis went to his bedroom, where he took a prescription medication regimen prepared by Dr. Nick, his personal doctor. The doctor would frequently leave these medication concoctions with Tish Henley, Elvis's nurse. They were meant to aid the star in falling asleep. Unfortunately, this doctor was actually very sick of Elvis and against him, leaving some fans wondering if this is why Elvis died. At 7 a.m. on Tuesday, August 16, 1977, Elvis took a second full packet of pills since he was still unable to fall asleep. Ricky, who was on duty that day from noon to 3, handed them to him. Elvis wanted to get some rest because he had a show in Portland, Maine, scheduled for the next day at 7 p.m., after which his current U.S. tour would continue. At 8 a.m. on Tuesday, August 16, 1977, Elvis called Ricky to bring more medication because he needed to sleep, but Ricky was nowhere to be found. Elvis contacted his Aunt Delta Mae Biggs in a rage and requested that she call Dr. Nick. Although she was at the office, Nurse Henley was hesitant to give out any more tablets. Finally, she gave Delta Mae a third, smaller packet of pills, which contained 2 Valmids and insomnia medication. Lisa Marie, Elvis's 9-year-old daughter, was in the bedroom next door at the time. On August 16, 1977, around 9:30 a.m., Elvis informed Ginger he was going to the bathroom after taking the 3 different packages of medications, plus the preceding painkillers. He was wearing gold pajamas and carrying the book, Scientific Search for the Face of Jesus, by Frank Adams with him. The celebrity was infamous for having severe constipation and would frequently spend hours in the restroom. Ginger later admitted that she had warned him not to do so, and Elvis's final words were, "I won't." Around 2 p.m. on Tuesday, August 16, 1977, Ginger noticed Elvis wasn't there when she woke up in bed. Though a little weird, it was nothing to be alarmed about. She dressed and put on her makeup before making a call to her mother for a conversation. The moment she found Elvis lying on the floor in his bathroom after finally going in search of him, she realized something was seriously wrong. Elvis didn't budge. On the toilet, it was evident that he had fallen and experienced some sort of attack. Ginger initially believed Elvis had fallen, hurt his head, and collapsed. Al Strada, who was in charge of the house's afternoon shift, responded to her call. Ginger took Lisa Marie, Elvis's daughter, away after she arrived to check what all the hoopla was about. An ambulance was called, and Vernon Presley, who resided next door to Graceland, was contacted and dispatched to the scene. On August 16, 1977, At 2:33 p.m., emergency services showed up. The paramedic staff initially believed it to be another typical Graceland incident involving an overexcited fan fainting. According to a statement at the time, an ambulance from the Memphis Fire Department's engine house 29 at 2147 Elvis Presley Boulevard responded to the call at 2:33 p.m. and transported Presley to Baptist Hospital's emergency room by 2:56 p.m., which is 7 miles from his Whitehaven home. At 3:30 p.m. on Tuesday, August 16, 1977, Elvis was officially declared dead, and the news reached the world's media around 4 p.m.
Elvis Presley died today. He was 42. Apparently it was a heart attack. He was found at his home in Memphis, not breathing.
Presley's death is one of the saddest moments in rock and roll history.
I just can't believe he's dead. It's terrible. But I just thank God that Elvis died here at Graceland.
Whether you're black or white, whether you're country, redneck or freak, young or old, from Moscow, London, or Memphis, Elvis Presley will still be the king of rock and roll.
We all miss him so much. Some people believe he is still alive. We're taking this moment to share our condolences to all his friends and family. His legacy will always live on. He has truly made this world a better place. Were you a fan of Elvis Presley? If so, what's your favorite song or favorite moment? Who is Elvis Presley, really?
Elvis Aaron Presley was the second of 2 twins. His brother, Jesse, was stillborn, which left him to grow up as an only child. His parents were hard-working but financially struggling, which meant that Elvis's early years were marked by modesty and simplicity. Despite the hardships, his mother ensured that his life would be full of love and music. The Presley family was deeply religious, and Elvis's initial exposure to music came from the church. The vibrant gospel music he heard during services profoundly influenced him, shaping his unique musical style that would later revolutionize the world. Elvis's voice was recognized early on when he won a talent show at the age of 10, singing Old Shep. The Presleys moved to Memphis to seek better opportunities, and it was here that Elvis began to develop his signature style. He immersed himself in the diverse sounds of Beale Street, the heart of Memphis's thriving music scene. It wasn't long before he picked up the guitar. His mother bought him his first guitar for his 11th birthday, a decision that would set him on the path to stardom. He attended L.C. Humes High School, where he was somewhat of a loner. He was different from his peers, with his slicked-back hair and unique fashion sense, which included pink shirts and black slacks. He was often bullied for being a mama's boy and for his eclectic taste in music. But he remained undeterred and continued to hone his skills, participating in talent shows and absorbing every ounce of musical knowledge he could. In high school, his talent began to shine through. He performed at the annual minstrel show, where his rendition of Till I Waltz Again With You left the audience in awe. It was clear that Elvis had a gift, and his confidence grew with each performance. After graduating in 1953, he took on various jobs, but always kept his musical aspirations alive. From his humble beginnings in Tupelo, his meteoric rise to fame began with his historic recordings at Sun Records. His unique sound was a fusion of blues, country, and gospel, which captivated audiences and set the stage for a new era of music known as rock and roll. With his charismatic stage presence and distinctive voice, he became a symbol of youthful rebellion and a hero to millions. His impact on the music charts was unparalleled. He had no less than 149 songs appear on the Billboard Hot 100 pop chart in America, with 114 in the top 40, 40 in the top 10, and 18 of those reaching number 1. His number 1 singles alone would spend a total of 80 weeks at the pinnacle of the charts, and his record sales were staggering, with estimates of over 1 billion records sold worldwide, making him the best-selling solo artist in the history of recorded music. Elvis's foray into film was equally successful, with 31 feature films to his credit, all of which enjoyed financial success. Elvis was not only a music sensation, he was a bona fide movie star. His 3 network television specials, including the '68 comeback, are still celebrated as some of the most highly rated specials of their time. Elvis won 3 Grammy Awards, receiving the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award at the young age of 36, and was inducted into multiple music halls of fame, including pop, country, rockabilly, rhythm and blues, adult contemporary, and gospel. On the international stage, his acclaim was remarkable, considering that he rarely performed outside the United States. Yet his records and films enjoyed popularity all across the globe. He was a cultural phenomenon whose first name alone would evoke recognition and admiration worldwide. Throughout his career, he broke barriers and set records that still stand today. His Las Vegas performances and his concert tours became legendary, often breaking attendance records. His style, a blending of raw energy and emotional expression, set the standard for live performances that other performing artists struggled to reciprocate. On August 16, 1977, the world was shocked to learn that Elvis had died at the age of 42, and this news spread like wildfire, leaving fans around the globe in disbelief and mourning. The circumstances surrounding his untimely death have been the subject of much speculation and intrigue over the years. Elvis was found unresponsive on the floor of his bathroom in his Graceland mansion in Memphis, Tennessee, by his then-fiancée, Ginger Alden. She immediately called for help, and Elvis was rushed to Baptist Memorial Hospital. Despite all efforts by the medical team, he was pronounced dead at 3:30 p.m. The official cause of death was listed as a heart attack, but the autopsy report revealed a much more complex picture. Performed by Dr. Jerry Francisco, the Shelby County medical examiner, he found that Elvis had a significantly enlarged heart, weighing almost twice the normal size. This condition, known as hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, likely contributed to his sudden cardiac arrest. In the toxicology reports, it was revealed that several prescription drugs were present in his system, including high doses of opiates, barbiturates, and sedatives. Elvis's long-standing addiction to prescription medication was no secret to those who were close to him. He had been battling this addiction for years, often relying on his personal physician to provide him with the drugs he craved. This physician, nicknamed Dr. Nick, had been prescribing Elvis a shocking array of medications, including Quaaludes and Demerol. In the months leading up to his death, Elvis's health had been deteriorating rapidly. He had gained a significant amount of weight, and his performances had become increasingly erratic. He often appeared on stage in a daze, forgetting lyrics and struggling to keep up with the music. His entourage, including his manager, Colonel Tom Parker, had grown increasingly concerned about his well-being, but seemed powerless to intervene. One notable moment came during his iconic 1973 Aloha from Hawaii concert, where he had lyric cards for Burning Love held up for him. However, some fans claim he hardly looked at them, but just having them there was a safety net that he previously did not need. They contend that this was not due to any substance abuse, as often speculated, but rather a quirk that Elvis had dealt with for much of his career. On the day of his death, Elvis had been up all night, unable to sleep, and had taken several doses of prescribed medications throughout the night and into the early morning hours. At around 2:30 a.m., he retired to the bathroom, where he often spent long periods of time reading, and it would be there, several hours later, that his fiancée Ginger would find him unconscious on the floor. The news of Elvis's death sent shockwaves through the industry and beyond, and fans around the world went into mourning, holding candlelight vigils and leaving flowers at the gates of Graceland. The media went into a frenzy, with reporters and photographers descending on Memphis to cover the story. In the weeks and months that followed, questions began to arise about the circumstances that surrounded his death. Many fans refused to believe that their idol could have succumbed to something as mundane as a heart attack, and rumors began to circulate about possible foul play or a cover-up. In the years since, many of those who were closest to Elvis have come forward to shed light on his final days. Friends and family members have described a man who was deeply troubled, struggling with addiction and depression, and unable to cope with the pressures of his fame. As for the rumors about opening his tomb, they appear to be fueled by a mixture of fascination with his private life and the enduring mystery surrounding his death. The idea that we could get a closer look at the final resting place of such a public figure has sent ripples of anticipation through the Elvis-loving community. Whether any truth will emerge from these speculations remains to be seen, but the legend of Elvis Presley continues to captivate and intrigue fans around the world. The allure of his personal and private life remains as strong as ever. This fascination has led to persistent theories and rumors, some suggesting that Elvis might have faked his own death. Proponents of this theory cite several pieces of evidence, such as discrepancies surrounding his tombstone, where his middle name, Aaron, is curiously spelled as Aaron, a detail, they argue, could be a subtle clue left by Elvis himself to indicate that his burial was not legitimate. Another piece of alleged evidence fueling the fake death rumors is the sighting of Elvis in the background of an airport scene in the 1990 movie Home Alone. The scene shows a bearded gentleman in a turtleneck and sports coat standing over Catherine O'Hara's shoulder, resembling what many would expect an older Elvis to look like. His attire and mannerisms in this scene have sparked debates, with some seeing it as a hint of Elvis's continued existence in secret. Moreover, handwriting analysis has been another avenue pursued by those who believe Elvis is still alive. Some handwriting experts have scrutinized signatures, claiming that autographs from the years following his reported death appear suspiciously different from his earlier signatures. They suggest this could be evidence that someone else was signing on his behalf to maintain the illusion that he had passed away. The circumstances of his funeral have also raised eyebrows. Despite being a beloved public figure, the funeral was relatively small and private. His body was placed in a 900-pound copper coffin, which some argue would be unnecessarily heavy unless it was actually empty. Skeptics point out that the funeral took place quickly after his death was announced, leading them to question whether the hasty proceedings were designed to avoid scrutiny. Over the years, numerous individuals have come forward claiming to have seen Elvis alive and well long before his reported death. In fact, the phenomenon of sightings has become a cultural curiosity, with individuals from all corners of the globe claiming to have seen the icon in the flesh. The very first sighting was as mysterious as it was timely, occurring the day after his death. A man bearing a striking resemblance to Elvis reportedly purchased a one-way ticket to Buenos Aires under the name of John Burroughs, an alias that Elvis was known to have used. As these theories and sightings accumulate, they contribute to the mythic status of Elvis Presley, blurring the lines between reality and legend. Whether these rumors are based in fact or are merely the result of fans' reluctance to let go of their idol, they ensure that Elvis remains a figure of intrigue and fascination. The legacy of Elvis Presley, thus, is not just in his music and films, but also in the enduring mystery and the vibrant fan culture that surrounds his memory. This vibrant fan culture has morphed into a variety of expressions, making Elvis Presley not just a historical figure, but a living part of popular culture. For many, his influence extends beyond his music and films. It reaches into the realms of spiritual, social, and even lifestyle elements, all of which underscore his enduring impact on fans around the world. Elvis Week, an annual event held at Graceland, his former home and now a museum, is a testament to this cultural phenomenon. Fans from all over the globe flock to Memphis to celebrate his life, participating in candlelight vigils, creating elaborate fan art, and exchanging rare memorabilia. It's a week-long festival brimming with music, storytelling, and camaraderie, illustrating the deep connection his fans feel to his legacy. The Elvis tribute artist phenomenon is another unique aspect of this culture. Across the globe, fans don elaborate jumpsuits and meticulously style their hair to embody their idol. These impersonators compete in contests judged not only on vocal similarity, but also on their ability to capture Elvis's charisma and stage presence. The dedication to detail is profound, with some even studying his mannerisms and speech patterns to perfect their portrayal. Moreover, some fans have elevated their devotion to what could be described as a quasi-religious level, viewing Elvis as a messianic figure who symbolizes love and unity. This blending of traditional religious practices with fan activities creates a unique cultural practice that further demonstrates the depth of his impact. The phenomenon of Elvis impersonator weddings in Las Vegas is another bizarre yet beloved tradition, where couples can have an Elvis impersonator officiate their wedding, serenading them with "Can't Help Falling in Love" as they exchange vows. This melding of kitsch and sentimentality has become a quintessential part of the Vegas wedding experience, attracting not just die-hard Elvis fans, but also those looking for a uniquely memorable way to tie the knot. In the digital realm, virtual communities where fans share rare concert footage, discuss his impact on their lives, and even role-play as Elvis in various scenarios have flourished. This online presence ensures that Elvis's influence transcends physical and generational boundaries, keeping his legacy alive in the digital age. Collecting memorabilia is another way fans connect with Elvis. Some dedicate entire rooms or homes to display their collections, which range from vinyl records and concert posters to personal items that once belonged to the king. The pursuit of these items is relentless, and the trade among collectors is a thriving subculture within the larger fan base. Even the trend of Elvis look-alike pets, where fans style their pets, particularly hound dogs, in miniature Elvis costumes complete with tiny wigs and sunglasses, is a testament to the light-hearted and deeply personal ways fans choose to celebrate his memory. Ultimately, the possibility of his tomb being opened taps into the deep-seated human desire to connect with and understand icons like Elvis Presley. Whether driven by curiosity, disbelief in his death, or just a continuation of the myth-making that has always surrounded him, these actions reflect the profound and varied ways in which Elvis Presley remains a vital part of cultural discourse decades after his official passing. This ongoing dialogue between the past and present, fact and myth, not only keeps his memory alive, but also enriches the cultural landscape, demonstrating the powerful legacy of Elvis Presley. This ongoing dialogue between past and present, fact and myth, continues to enrich the cultural landscape, demonstrating the powerful legacy of Elvis Presley. The continuous fascination with the details of his life and death, and the possibility of new discoveries, ensures that his story is not static, but a living narrative that evolves with each generation. The idea of opening Elvis Presley's tomb, whether rooted in conspiracy theories or a genuine quest for truth, underscores a broader cultural phenomenon: the desire to demystify icons and understand them on a deeper level. This is not just about unearthing hidden facts, but about reaffirming the connection fans feel with Elvis. It's a testament to the deep emotional investments many have in his persona and the ways he has touched their lives. The myths surrounding Elvis do more than just speculate about his death. They serve as a vehicle for communal storytelling and shared experiences. These narratives allow fans to engage in a form of social interaction that is built around shared beliefs and activities dedicated to their idol's memory. This communal aspect of fan culture is crucial as it provides a sense of belonging and identity for many individuals. It allows them to be part of a community that is not bounded by geographical constraints, but is united by a common passion. Furthermore, the myth of Elvis possibly being alive serves as a coping mechanism for some, allowing them to deny the finality of his death and keep their idol forever young and vibrant in their minds. It helps perpetuate the idea of Elvis not just as a historical figure, but as an ongoing presence in contemporary culture. Elvis's impact is also evident in the commercial and artistic spheres. His image and music continue to be used in advertising, film, and television, embedding him within the fabric of popular culture. His influence on music, particularly rock and roll, is immeasurable. He paved the way for future generations of artists who cite him as a major influence on their own work. His home, Graceland, has become a pilgrimage site for fans, attracting hundreds of thousands of visitors each year. It stands as a monument to his life and career, filled with memorabilia and personal artifacts that offer insight into his private and public personas. The management of Graceland has been meticulous in preserving his legacy, while also adapting to new technologies and tourism trends to keep his memory relevant for new generations. In academic circles, Elvis is the subject of scholarly research that examines his influence on music, American culture, and the global entertainment industry. His role in the racial integration of music, his impact on the sexual mores of his time, and his contributions to the music industry are analyzed and debated, ensuring that his contributions are recognized not just in cultural terms, but also in socio-economic and historical contexts. As the discussions about opening his tomb continue, they will likely ignite new interest and perhaps even new revelations about his life and death. Whether or not the tomb is ever opened, the very discussion it sparks is a reflection of Elvis's undiminished significance in popular culture. It ensures that Elvis Presley, much like the myths that surround him, will remain an eternal figure in the landscape of American music and global celebrity. Thanks for watching. Subscribe.